Hi, everyone. So I'm so excited to share a dear friend of mine really with you, Sarah, who I met so many years ago when we were just beginning our entrepreneurial journeys. We've since gotten to connect over content writing and do more of that journey together through the course. And so really just excited to share her with you because she has so much wisdom around entrepreneurship and building a business, and she's a mother as well, so she's juggling a lot of different things, and so just thank you for being here. I'm excited to dive into some of this with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited too.
Yes, so maybe even just start sharing maybe what you gained from the course, then we'll go from there.
Okay. So, I mean, going into it, obviously, I was pretty nervous because I don't have any training as a writer. I mean, I always enjoyed it. And like, that's kind of how I feel I connect most is just reading and writing. And I just love writing, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so it was a little nerve wracking thinking I was going to like be terrible. and, but it was very eye-opening how, I mean, you can reach so many people and do so much with kind of the same type of structures, and the way it was all laid out was really helpful and it flowed easily. And even like talking, I mean, I went into this thinking I'm only going to write for wellness, I'm only going to write for, nutritional um, self-care kind of things and businesses. But I mean, just the idea of getting and learning how to research things and write for an industry that you don't even know anything about was fun, and it kind of really kind of opened up the doors even more. Um, so it was just really it was very well done.
Thank you. And I think that you're so spot on there, where even, I mean, some of the clients that I've had that are, I've met them and been like, oh no, I don't think I can write that kind of like content, or it's too creative or something. Those have actually ended up being some of the most fun clients because your brain does get to actually kind of think outside the box and play. And you feel like you're almost like trying on another part writing for those.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that you discovered that because that's something that took me by surprise too. And Sarah, like by the end of this, was just, well, we knew she could write for nutrition and wellness, but some of the things that even by the end of it were so amazing. And I was like, you wrote this? This is crazy, because it would be for a whole different industry. And it's just, you really took like the structure of it, but made it your own, and leaned into the voice of a client or their audience and made it just like this masterpiece of like this whole nother genre. Who knew, right?
Mhm.
What what advice do you have maybe for anyone who is like either thinking of starting a business, they haven't even considered copywriting, or maybe they're in even another business and they've heard of content writing and are like, what is this thing? Like, any thoughts there?
Well, I think, I mean, I wished I had had this even before, like when we were going through, I mean, wanting to create just a wellness coaching business, like learning how to write things in a way that quickly delivers your point and catches the reader's attention, also while like keeping up with what online content is doing would have been so helpful to me, I think, and I think is helpful to others like that are starting their online business. um, or even if it's not, I mean, even if you have like a brick and mortar store, but you have, a presence online that you want to be getting clients and customers, learning that skill, just the foundation of it would have been so helpful and taken so much pressure off and so much of the workload off, because I think back of how much I like poured my heart into things that maybe kind of fell flat, and not like that the words were wrong or what I was writing about was necessarily wrong, but learning how to structure it in a way that is, like I said, more appealing and keeps up with what others are doing would have been really helpful. Um, and I think also it helped open my eyes to really what works more for me. You know, when we started out trying to, going through the NTA and learning, to build a practice that way, my mind was so singular focused on it had to be this certain way. And you've talked about this several times before, and learning how to pivot and learning how to like almost honor what really works for you. And I didn't realize it until like really starting to go through your course and trying new things and learning a new way of communicating. That wasn't that model that I was trying so hard to force myself into was not really like, it just didn't work for me. And that's okay. Like, that's the other thing. Like, that's okay. And I just, going through this really helped me to see that. And even little things like, I had a lot of questions because I'm not techie. And so I had a lot of questions that I was embarrassed to ask, but just hearing you say and show us where to go to look for this, and that, hey, it's okay. It like took so much of the burden off of me. Like, again, I get stuck in these areas of I have to know everything about everything, but learning where to go was so helpful.
Good. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I think it's so easy to get intimidated by the tech stuff and the marketing stuff, and it's always changing. So it makes sense why we're intimidated, because as soon as you master one thing, they come out with another feature. But that's what I just found too, is that it's part of it is just knowing where to look, knowing how to research, even if you're writing. It like is so empowering to feel like I can go and figure this out in 10 minutes versus like I need someone who's a tech whiz to come in, or I need to pay for a tech whiz to come in.
Right.
It's like I can go figure this stuff out, and even the marketing and writing side. And then I also love your point about almost feeling like if you feel like it has to be coaching, right? Because we both felt that at a certain point, and I think both enjoyed the clients we work with and the people, but then the coaching itself, there's just something that wasn't quite like the long-term sustainability kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And so I love like that writing can almost help you reach the same mission. Like I even had another, student who really loved the nutrition side, and she said for her, the writing, what she did it because she felt like she could even reach more people than
Mhm.
having like a one-on-one practice. And so she was like, for me, it's not even really like giving up the dream. It's actually like expanding the dream. And now I can have 30 people see something, whereas I only would have had one person in that hour session too.
Right. Or if you are, you want to build that client base, it is an easy way to stay,
Yeah.
in it and still be learning and growing and reaching people, but it's more kind of like a, you know, behind closed doors kind of thing. Maybe when you don't have a full client load, you can
Yeah.
still do this work and still get paid and still be, working in the field with maybe in it while you build that client base.
Yeah, that's a great point. Almost as like a side income stream that supports whatever the other dream is or
Mhm.
business,
Oh yeah.
and keeps it going. Or like even if you might end up like for me, I ended up really liking the marketing and writing side. So I was like, I think I'll just do this full time. But in the beginning days, it was like a means of supporting another business. And so that's always an option too. Or just to hear from other people too, where it's like, I just want to have in this economy, in this market, like another income stream where I know if something happens, I can go and I know how to get a client, or I can go and build out whatever I need to have another
Right.
supplement. So I like that you said
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
For you, like, where are you? What's your vision for content writing? Like, where do you see yourself taking this? Any ideas there? I know it's still early too.
Um, I mean, yeah, I have opened up kind of the idea of working, outside of like wellness, health and wellness.
Mhm.
That's still obviously my passion and what I want most. But I mean, just being able to write on my time frame, on my, I mean, not 100%, obviously you would have deadlines and stuff, but
Mhm.
the flexibility of being able to, get up before everyone's up and do a bunch of work or later in the afternoon, is really freeing to me. And so I hope to build it in a way where I can be, I really like writing blogs. informational blogs and, kind of like encouraging information or encouraging content. I wrote recently something for her business was she's like a business strategist, so she
Mhm.
kind of works on the back end of a business creating business plans. And I mean, obviously I don't know that much about that, but it
Yeah.
was fun to write, just a Facebook post that she could turn into also an email, and a couple of short Instagram posts, and just again something out of my wheelhouse, but learning to write that content. And it really, what I've kind of come to realize, like, doing work for people fills me up, and so it's like a
Mhm.
double you know whammy here. I get to
Yeah.
work sometimes, in the field that I'm most passionate about, but also being able to serve others in a way that they can advance their career and reach more people. And having a part of that is really, it's fulfilling.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's such a ripple effect too, because everyone who reads what you wrote on her behalf gets
Hmm.
to benefit in some way. Her business gets to grow. And then what we talked about in the course too is, it's the hardest thing ever is to almost write your own stuff. So if anyone is feeling stuck where they're like, I can't write, I don't know even how to write my own about page, that's very common actually.
Hmm.
So where writers can come in is it's so much easier to see someone else's business through your lens and almost put yourself in the audience's shoes and write something. So imagine what a relief even for that business owner that they have someone who like takes this vision and all these ideas but can kind of rearrange them and say, here's how it would actually look in a post and an email.
Exactly. Well, and on the flip side, even if you're really good at writing like your own stuff, maybe it's not like you can't reach as many people as you want because you understand it so well. So having somebody from the outside come in and like reword it and say it in a little bit different way, you might be able to kind of get over that hump of reaching more people, because what makes perfect sense to you may not make perfect sense to me. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a fun collaboration to have with people.
it really is. It's like that mix of left brain, right brain, where it's a little bit strategic, and then you have the creative side. So your brain gets to kind of do that dance, and even as a career, kind of jump between them. Where I know some days I'll do more strategic stuff, and then other days I'm like, no, let me do more of like these kind of writing projects. And as your own boss, then you kind of get to play that game and kind of fit things as long as you get your deadlines, like you
Yeah.
said. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I can add to this, answer too, but like, what for any brand that's watching this and wants to reach out or work with you, can you share some of the things that make you unique as a writer or someone that they would want to get in touch with?
um, I think just my passion to reach people, but also I think just having kind of a servant's heart of letting somebody else be the front man, and I like to be kind of in the back doing the work. I I just I love helping people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I already said that, but reach other people, and like if I can further your mission and further your kind of dream and goals, it's like an honor to get to work with people that have this big huge dream, and maybe writing isn't their jam, and or they're super busy, like I have this kind of vision of working with companies that are just too busy to do that stuff, but if they know the importance of it, it's cool to be a part of that.
Yes. Yeah. And for any health and wellness brands, healthcare brands listening, Sarah has extensive training in nutrition, functional nutrition, and so much wellness. And I've read her posts where she can take something that's so like potentially technical from a health perspective and make it sound readable and well researched, but also, conversational, like people can understand it. So I want to just give you a that's what I see for you as well.
Thank
As I'm
you.
like, you have this great personality where you want to help and serve, but then also you can really do some amazing detail oriented work and have the background that maybe would save brands a lot of time from a writer who would have to go research some of that stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's fun to it's fun and it's also encouraging, like, because I'm the if I understand something, especially when you're talking about life changes and, health, and when you can understand like how things work, you're so much more apt to make those changes stick. And that's always my goal, is to like really make people understand in a, like you said, kind of a conversational way, like you should be able to explain why you feel this way and what you can
Yeah.
do about it. And to me, that's, it's empowering to help other people like that.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. It's always, I feel like I get the joy of getting to like be on this journey with you and get to talk with you and all these things and stuff. But thank you for your time today. And then what I'll do for anyone who's watching and wants to be in touch or work with Sarah is I will put her contact information below. But it would be honestly like the best choice and move for your business. So highly recommend. But thank you again for your time today.
Thank you.